Hey everybody, what's going on? It is Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and today we're going to take a look at a game called A Column of Fire. A Column of Fire is a board game based on, what's it called? The Kingsbridge series by author Ken Follett. Is designed by Michael Reineck, published by Cosmos, plays 2 to 4 players, ages 12 plus 90 minutes. And this is the third game in the series. There's Pillars of the Earth, which I haven't covered. There's World Without End, which I haven't yet played. And then there's this one. The other two were co-designs with Stefan Stadler. This time he developed the game and designed it by himself, Michael Reineck. In this game, what you're doing, I think there's theme. I've never read the books, so... in Pillars of the Earth, you're building the cathedral, but in this one, the cathedral watches over a city torn by religious hatred. Half of Europe is deeply divided by a conflict between Catholics and Protestants. England, France, Spain, and the Netherlands are all vying for power and resources in this politically unstable environment. Players compete to increase their influence by aligning with members of prominent families. They form alliances with dignitaries across Europe and set up trading houses to sell their goods. The religious power struggles in these countries are incessant, and those who sympathize with the losing religion are occasionally driven out of a country. Who will best exploit the changing religious attitudes in each country to gain control? Basically, this is kind of an area control game based on religion. I know that sounds super, not fun, but what that means is you're going to be drafting these cards. They look like this. Okay, each of the countries are going to have their own back. And they're going to have a card. And each of the characters are going to belong to religions. Purple is Catholic, gray is Protestant, and natural color or wood color is neutral. So they're not affiliated with any religion. And what you're doing is you're trying to set up trading posts in these countries to trade goods. You can maybe sell ore, books, fabric, or wine. And you're also trying to put your religion that you are a part of, which can flip, you can flip-flop, which is a little interesting, into the religious conflict track. And when it's full, whoever has the most religion there gets points based on trading houses. If you're not in the religious majority, you get booted out of town, or in this case, the country. So that's kind of what's going on. There's also a rondel that's going to give you some extra actions. This is all done with a cool dice mechanism where you're rolling dice, using dice, and as you use dice, you have less available, which is really cool. So that's enough talking about it. Let's go down to the table and see how it plays. Alright, so here is, let me see if I can get the cover of the box. Here is A Column of Fire, based off the Ken Follett book, all set up for 2 players. Alright, so this is a 2-player game. I will say right here, it's going to spoil a little bit of my review, this should be played at more than 2. Okay, but I just want to show you how the game works, so I'm doing it at 2 to fit it on the camera. To set up, you're going to shuffle each of these decks of cards. They're going to have certain color backs. Then you're going to flip one, and then based on the color of the little icon here, you're going to put that religion token on top, okay? In a 2-player game, you're going to block the first section of the conflict track on each of the 4 tracks. Then each player is going to get a Lock 11 card, and it's going to determine your starting religion. It's going to give you a protection token, a starting good, and a starting place to put your marker on the rondel, which I've already done. Then you're going to flip your religion card to the appropriate side, roll the black die, and put that on there. That's how many years you're going to be that religion. So yellow is going to be Catholic for 5 years. Green is going to be Protestant for 3. Okay? And then each player is going to get one of these first year, second year cards. I have one on first year, one on second year, just so I can know what to do. 1 die of every color: brown, purple, blue, orange, white, and then black. The protection token, and your appropriate good. And pick the first player, which will be green, and we're ready to go. All the rest of the stuff's off to the side. There are some tokens in this cup that we may use depending on what happens. All right. So the way this game works is starting with the first player and going around and around and around until the end of the game. We're trying to be the first player to get to 50 points. That's going to trigger the end of the game. And then whoever has the most points when that is all done is the winner. So the way that works is every player is going to do 2 phases of the game, of a round. There's the first half of the year, and then there's the second half of the year. So I'll walk through that right now. So green's turn. First half of the year. What happens here is you're going to adjust all of your dice. As the game goes on, we're going to be getting more cards out and we're going to have more actions that we can take, okay? You're going to adjust all your dice. If your religion still has a number, and you're in the minority, in this case, we're both in the minority, so green will get 2 points. If your die ever turns to a 1, you can decide to stay the religion or flip religion, then you have to roll the die again and put it back on there. The black die is always for religion, okay? Then what we're going to do is we're going to go to the second half of the year. This is where you're going to roll all your free dice, which at the beginning of the game are all the other 5, okay? Then what you're going to do is you're going to use those dice. This is the purple one, hard to see. Purple's wild. Then you're going to use those dice to interact with one of the 4 tracks, okay? So there's orange, brown, blue, and white. Purple can interact with all the tracks. Basically what that means is you're going to be recruiting a card. We're trying to recruit cards that help us take extra actions, get extra tokens, because ultimately we want to score points and we want to get goods to be able to ship them in different locations. And when you take a character, based on the number of the die, you get to set up a trading post, and that's going to help you later, okay? And I think, just for crazy, this is crazy, but green is going to take this character here. So they're going to put their trading post, it's a 1, so they put their trading post on the 1. You can only ever have 1 trading post in a color. If I play a higher number, I can move my trading post as long as it's still available. This Protestant marker gets put on the religion conflict track. I take this card, goes next to, it's supposed to be to the left, but just for the sake of the purpose of the game, I'm going to go this way. When you take the card, I get activated, I get 2 points. Okay? Then, based on the dice I have left, I'm going to interact with the rondelle down there. So you can see each of the different spaces have a colored die. If I have that colored die, I can move to the next space of that color or to the one after it if I pay a point. Okay? So let's see. I think, do I have a barrel? I do not have a barrel. I'm just going to use the blue die. Oh, wait, that's yellow. I'll use the brown die. I'll go here and I'll get a point. Die doesn't go away. I just have to have it available to take that action. Then that's my turn. Okay? Then at the end of this, you flip another card. If it's an event, which sometimes there are events, we will resolve that event for all players. Okay. Now it's yellow's turn. Same thing. They're going to adjust their religion and any other dice they have on cards. They are in the religious minority, so they get a point. They're going to roll all their free dice. They're Catholic, so they want to kind of manipulate some tracks with Catholicism. And I think we'll do that with this one. So they're going to set up this track. That makes this one start to be a little bit Catholic here. Purple's Catholic, gray is Protestant, and wood color, neutral. Okay, so I'll take this card. This gives me a protection for 5 rounds, basically. So I get a protection now. Protections are good when events come up. And I'll try to explain that. And if you still have some at the end of the game, they're worth a point. And then I have all my dice left, except for blue. And I think I'm going to use, what is that? That's brown. I'm going to use brown. And I'm going to get one of these favors. These are the favors. They have points on the side, either 1, 2, or 3, or some bonus that you can spend to help you out throughout the game, but you have to discard it. These are going to be added to my score at the end of the game. All right. I'll put that up here under this. And that's my turn. We'll flip a new card. We have a Protestant. All right. All right, back to green. I'm going to adjust my die. I still have 1 year of my religion. I get a point because I'm in the minority. This is my last time using this, so this is now a free die. I get 2 points. And then this card is discarded. And just for the sake of this, I'm going to put it off to the board. But it would normally be a discard pile next to the deck. All right. Now, I get to roll my free dice. So I have all my dice back now. Okay. So that's a Protestant over there. Give me a book. Yeah, let's do it. I'm actually going to take... Ooh, I do have blue. I'm going to go over here. Put my 6 trading post here. Which will put my Protestant little friend here. A 6 gives me a book. Then I have every color but blue. So let's go. I'm going to use my orange and I'm going to go here. Now I'm allowed to sell ore at brown and blue. You have to have a trading post there to sell. I only have a trading post at blue, so I can sell an ore for 2 points. So I get 2 points. All right. At the end of that year, flip this over. got another Catholic friend. And there we go. All right, back to yellow. Yellow is still Protestant or Catholic. They're in the minority. This is going to go down to 4. They're going to get a protection token. Okay. Now they're going to roll all their free dice. All right. Can't do blue. I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to do this. There's already somebody there, so I can't take it. But I'm going to take this character because I want to trigger a religious conflict. When that's full, then you're going to put a torch there. At the end of your turn, you're going to know that this action is going to happen. So I'll take this. 6 rounds. I'm locking up my wild, but I get one of these awesome favor cards. Ooh, 3-pointer. Okay, so that's going to help me at the end of the game. Then I have white, orange, and brown left. And I want to... What do I have? I have a barrel. Do I have anywhere that wants barrels? Do not. Not yet. So I don't want that. Let's go. I'll use my orange. I'll go down here and I'll take a point. All right. Now at the end of my turn, this card comes out. It's an event. Each player who has characters with these symbols on them in front of them loses a point for each card. Nobody has those characters, so we're going to just ignore that. Nobody has to use protection. If you had one of those cards, in order to keep from losing the point, you have to discard a protection. This is a Protestant. Now we're going to resolve the conflict. Okay, so the way the religious conflict works, if you are in the religion that has the minority, so in this case, Catholic, because there's 2 Catholics and 1 Protestant, and you have a trading post there, you're going to score points based on where you are on the system. So yellow is in the 5, there and there, so they're going to get 5 points. If you're not in that religion, your trading post gets destroyed. Like a religious riot or mob burns you down. All right, and then that goes away, and that is the end of yellow's turn. All right, now we're going to go, I'm going to do one more round, and then that's going to kind of wrap it up, because I think you've seen kind of what the game is. I'm going to flip to Catholicism, because I was on my last year. And now I'm going to be Catholic for 4, and that'll keep them from getting points. That also keeps me from getting points. I'll get a book. Okay, now I'm going to roll my free dice. I'm in the second half of the year. I really want to sell some books. So I need to get some trading posts up in orange and blue. So let's go to orange. So I'll take this orange fella. Neutral. 6. So I can get 1 point, or I can add a neutral marker to any religion. And I think I'm just going to take the point. Or any religious conflict track. Then I get to put up a trading post for 6. All right. Now I have purple, white, and brown. I'd like to trade some books. I could get a couple points if I go to... What is that? That's orange. Can I get the orange? I can't. I have the purple die, so I'm going to go here. I could trade a book and a barrel, but I don't have a barrel, so I'm just going to sell 1 book for 2 points. When you go to the good with the islands, the boats, you can sell that good to those 2 islands. When you go to the island, you can sell each thing 1 time. Okay? And that is my turn. Done. Flip a new card. Event. Each player who hands in protection tile gets the same number of victory points as the current number indicated on his or her religion die. I will do that. I get 4. They will do that as well because they have a pile of religion or protection, and they'll get 3. I'll flip a new card. All right, and we have the captain. All right, and that's green's turn. Back to yellow. No points for minority. We're going to get a protection tile. We're going to get a favor tile. And it's a book, so I can cash this in for a book whenever I want to. Okay, so I'm going to roll my dice. 3 brown, 2 orange, 3 white. Let's see. Got a frog in my throat. All right, I really like to get some Catholicism on the board. So let's go brown. we're going to snag this guy. We're going to do this. It's a 3. We got some Catholicism up here. I take this guy. He's at a 3. And I can get a point, or I can add or subtract a die value. Oof. Points is how you win. I'm going with points. Then I have orange and white left. And I have a barrel and a book. Let's sell a book. Can I sell a book to blue? Yellow. Yes. I need a brown die. Nope. Blue. I need blue. Where can I get to the blue island? Way far away. Can't get to it. That's lame. Alright. We're going to go... I have white and orange. We'll just go white. Actually, I'll go orange. And I'm going to take a barrel. I already have a barrel. Let's take I have a book. Let's take some cloth. Alright. Done. Alright, and that's how the game's going to keep progressing. Until somebody hits 50 points. At that time, you're going to finish the round. So if this player triggered it, it would keep going. Then you're going to score the in-game points. It's going to be 1 point for all of these tiles. 1 point for every 2 goods you have. Any bonus tiles here. And then 2 points for every trading house you have out on the board. Because they get destroyed. So keeping them out on the board gets you points. And when all that is said and done, whoever has the most points is the winner. So that is how you play a Column of Fire. Let's go up to the top and see what we think about it. Alright, so that was a Column of Fire. Now, I got Pillars of the Earth. I ended up getting that one. I think I got it in a trade or found it for cheap or something, and I loved it. So once I played that, I knew there were other games. I was like, man, this is really good. I like the theme. The old medieval theme is, it's kind of my jam. So I started hunting down other games. I went to Half Price Books, found this one. Haven't found A World Without End or whatever that game's called yet, but found this one, had to pick it up. Because I watched Rado play it, and it had that cool dice mechanism, which I thought would be really fun. And, spoiler, it is fun. So in this game is all about balancing how you're using your dice, when you're going to recruit certain characters, how you want to put the religious influence out on the tracks, because you're always trying to manipulate those tracks. But if everything starts going bad, I don't know, maybe you can just lie and say you're a Catholic this year, or maybe you want to be a Protestant this year. You can flip-flop religions to kind of be beneficial based on how the tides are turning out on the map, which is pretty interesting. I also love that as you use a die, that color is unavailable to be used for the rondelle, which makes some of the actions that you really want to take harder to get to, and maybe you have to spend points to get the certain ones that you want. So all of that is a delicate balance. I need to get this character. I need this color die because it's in the white area of the board. But I really want to take that white action. I don't have my purple die anymore, so I can't use my purple die to take the white character. So you're giving up things that you may want to do on the action rondelle to get a character that's really good for you to maybe give you a whole pile of points over the course of 5 rounds because you have a 5 or a 6 die. And I think that's amazing. It's just a fun little tug of war. It's kind of what it is. You're vying for control of the religion so you can come out on top and score some points. It's a race to 50, so however you have to do that to get those points, you need to do it. I love the art and the vibe of it. It's Michael Menzel art. He always does fantastic work. I'm drawing blanks on some games right now, but I think Legends of Andor is one for sure. But there are other ones. His art is fantastic. This is no exception. It's gorgeous. It feels like I'm in the area that I'm playing, and I really like it. Rest of the components are just dice and cards, but I'm going to make the mention of this. This is the blue and purple, or the brown and purple die. Here's purple. Here's brown. Even with my right up in front of my face, they look exactly the same. So, kind of a missed opportunity. Could have been like a green die or a pink die or something, just to make it a little less similar to the brown. So my one complaint is the die color. Everything else is fine. Cards are fine. They mostly just sit there. You shuffle them once. The components, the goods are just cardboard shits, but who cares? These religion markers are pretty cool. Little like crosses of the different colors. I enjoy that. But the board is the highlight of all the components for sure. And it looks amazing on the table. And I dig it. So I'm going to give this a BGM accepted seal. I don't know. I haven't done a video for Pillars of the Earth, so I don't remember where I rate that. But I'm going to rate this one at an 8. I really enjoy it. An 8 out of 10 on BGG, which is a 4 out of 5 wrenches on our arbitrary wrench scale. That means absolutely nothing. But we like to give it the games that we enjoy, and that is what I'm going to do. So that is Ken Follett, A Column of Fire. I'm Jason with the Boardgame Mechanics, and as always, keep gaming.